Back at it again, and Ice Cube has been on somewhat of a tour, interviewing or going to interviews with different folks, and it's been quite interesting. And today we have Tucker Carlson and Ice Cube, so you know it's going to be good. It's going to be very good. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new. If you'd like to help me out even further with the YouTube algorithm too, watch this video to the very end. It helps out tremendously. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, let's dive in.
So why would you be doing this of all interviews? I mean, you could do an interview with anyone. You're doing an interview with me. Obviously, you're going to take abuse for doing that. Like, why would you do that?
Because I think it's silly not to talk to people. I think whether we agree or not,
right? That
has nothing to do with it. You know, it's like, this is what it's all about. Let's talk about it. Let's debate. And you know, I've been shut out.
Wait, that sounds like right-wing extremism and whataboutism.
But I've been shut out. You know, some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, you know, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the...
They don't want him on because of the color of his skin and his influence. They don't want any black people on that go against the narrative. That is the issue. That is the problem. They talk all this stuff about, oh, we love people of color. We love and accept everyone. Until you disagree. And I've said this before. It's all about diversity until it comes to ideas. Then you're ostracized. Then even if you're black, you're thrown out of the circle by the very same people who claim to love black people and not be hateful of black folks. If you disagree with them, you're thrown out. And they call Republicans the terrible people, the hateful people. Make that one make sense. Try to. I dare you. Your head's gonna spin.
Go along to get along, gang. You know, I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. I've been on there before.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I've, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded.
Bingo. Who's the party of slavery? $1 million question, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you all could answer it. The Democrats. When you aren't a free thinker, are you actually free? Kind of ironic, it's coming from the same party that was the party of slavery. They want to keep people enslaved. Kind of funny how that circles back, huh? Word to Jen Psaki. Wow. Incredible.
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah. I've been excluded.
Shocking.
Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be...
Oprah's been getting exposed lately. If you haven't seen those clips, definitely go and check them out. I got some right here on the channel for you. Okay? She's been getting exposed. As a matter of fact, I think I may have a couple more. So stay tuned. It's getting good.
The person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central. You were successful at a young age. You have dignity. You say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is.
So I remember reading you say something along the lines of, I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not a Trump voter. You actually attacked Trump at one point, but you were willing to meet with Trump. Do you think that crossed a line?
I think some people didn't like that, but I think it's idiotic. You know,
it is.
Enemies meet.
Right.
You know, they talk. I'm pretty sure there's some communication between Russia and the Ukraine right now. Somebody's on the phone talking to somebody. I know when the talking stops, the fighting starts. You know, a lot of people, they, think I'm a, Republican. I'm a right-winger. Just because I was willing to speak to the Trump administration, and I was willing to speak with the Biden administration as well,
Have you?
One guy in the administration, but it didn't go anywhere. It was basically a, take my temperature kind of call.
What do you think of Biden?
I don't think.
The party that claims to be all for people of color, right? He tried to contact him and they just, get on out of here, son. Get on out of here. Whatever. But the party that's the hateful party actually sat down with him and listened to his concerns. And then the other party got mad at him because he went to Republicans and talked to them, more namely Uncle Trump. Kind of interesting, huh? Kind of interesting. Kind of sounds like the Democrats are giving people the runaround, saying that they care when they actually don't. They care about power and control. That's all they care about. As long as they can keep that, then they don't give a damn about who you are or your skin color. They'll say it in public, though. Behind closed doors, they're the racists.
I think he's giving the people who put him in exactly what they thought they were going to get from him.
But his most loyal voters, according to the polls anyway, are black voters, particularly black women. Mm-hmm. And those numbers don't seem to change. So no matter what happens or doesn't happen. So do you expect they ever will change?
Whether they become independents and not vote for anybody who's not bringing it. It's like people want your vote. They have to do something to earn it. If they don't earn it, why are you going down there and pulling that lever?
What's your view of the police at this point?
It's the same. They it really is. It's a fraternity. It's an organization that does things a certain way, and I think their philosophy sometimes is detrimental to the people they're serving, because I think cops have a win and make it home philosophy. You can't really fault somebody for thinking that way as a police officer.
I was going to say, I didn't know where he was going with this, but yeah, I definitely agree with that. You can't fault somebody for having that type of mentality, because I told y'all before as well, like, I thought about being a cop at one point in time, and my will to make it back home is going to be a hell of a lot stronger than my will to not pull that trigger. Okay, so I knew that I couldn't be in those situations, because I'd be on front page news, because you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep it PG here, but I'm making it back home. Okay, so if you make some funny types of movements, right? You know what I'm saying. I'm liable to make sure that I make it back home. And I understood that about myself. And, I was like, maybe this ain't for me. All right. And obviously, yeah, but let's see where he's going with this. This is a little confusing. I don't know.
But that's the philosophy. So everything else comes second to that. That's what we see is an organization hell-bent on winning, and not a fraternity or organization hell-bent on upholding the law and doing everything right or by the book, so to speak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's harder to be a man in America now than it was when you were a kid?
Yes. Saying what you feel, being yourself, is what they call toxic.
We've been talking almost all day now. You haven't mentioned race a single time. You've mentioned economics, rich and poor, a number of times. Do you think that we overplay the role of racial conflict in American life?
Yes. I think race, it takes up too much space. There's people that we all have in our lives who are same race, that we can't stand. And there's people in our lives from other races that we get along with way better. So it's not about race. It's not about color and gender and this and that. It's about who do you connect with. So I think a lot of people make a lot of money off of the racists fighting against each other and bickering.
Bingo. People are making that cash. I don't even need to say names. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. I don't even need to say names, right? So-called black leaders. They make a lot of money off this stuff. That's why they keep it going. That's exactly why they keep it. And I've exposed that before. So I'll spare y'all from that whole conversation. Let's go.
The racists fighting against each other and bickering. And they the ones who push it in our face all the time that we're separate.
Are you mad about it? Are you mad at people for their skin color ever in the course of a day?
I'm not mad at people because of their skin color. You know, I'm mad at people because of what they do and the things they choose not to do.
Right. I've noticed something weird. I've never been a big hip hop fan, but I've met a bunch of hip hop performers.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty open-minded, way more open-minded than, say, your average college professor. I wouldn't have expected that. Why do you think that is?
You know, college professors, they all want their jobs. And if their staff or administration is saying, hey, we think this way at this college, sometimes they understand what that is and they stick to those guidelines. Rappers, you know, we're free spirits. We know doing things the way they were done in the past hasn't really gotten us as far along as a people as we have wanted. So we tend to break the mold. We tend to be disruptors. If I would have stayed in my lane, I wouldn't be here. I would still be in South Central Los Angeles, you know, not following my dreams.
And probably dead, right? If you stay in some of these places, you know, for too long. But, yeah, I definitely think he touched on some interesting points. One of the big ones was that there are folks who make a lot of money off of the races fighting against each other, right? This whole back and forth, black versus white, you know, they make a lot of money off of this stuff. And you see it all the time. All the time. For example, black on black crime in Chicago and Baltimore and Atlanta or wherever else always gets ignored. Always gets ignored. But the moment a white person happens to pine box a black person, oh my goodness, it's the end of the world. The racists and blah, blah, blah. And they play it on the news on a loop, but they'll never play what's going on in Chicago on a loop, though. They'll never play that. They'll never play the situation where, you know, there was a party full of black people and a black person pulled up and just sprayed the whole party up. They'll never play that on a loop. But you let it be a white person that does it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Racial tensions are at an all-time high in America. What are we going to do? Oh my goodness. You know, people make a lot of money off of this stuff. Come on now. It's right there in our face. We always see the same figures pop up whenever there's a white person involved. We never see them when it's black on black, though. They're nowhere to be found. It's because there's no money to be made there. There's no money. What a shame. Is it tougher to be a man in America today than it was back in the day? Of course. Of course. Because like he said, if you speak your mind, you're considered toxic. Which, you know, and once again, I'm happy that things are going to this extreme right before Uncle Trump takes office, or right before Uncle Trump is going to attempt to get back in office and will ultimately win because of all of this crap. Because, and I've said this time and time again, but I'll restate it. I'll restate it again for, you know, the new family that's, you know, subscribed to the channel. They've pushed so far that people who aren't even into politics or even really cared about politics are opening their eyes and realizing what's going on. I've come across countless videos of people saying, I've never been a Republican, right? But I'm definitely voting Republican this time. Or I've never been a fan of Trump. I've honestly hated Trump, but I'm voting for Trump this time. Y'all remember when the statement, I didn't leave the left left me? That was everywhere. Everywhere. Including Elon Musk said it, I believe, if I remember correctly. You know, and I think that is reigning true for more and more people every single day. Every single day. No, I know it is reigning true for more and more people every single day because I'm watching it happen. I'm watching it. Just go through social media and read through the comment sections of some, post about Trump or, the Biden administration or their new far left policy that they're trying to push forward or something. You'll see. You'll see. More and more people that you wouldn't have even expected to vote Republican or vote or support Trump are now saying that same thing. And they're saying it out in the open. Some people are making videos of themselves. Yeah, I'm supporting Trump. Right? You wouldn't have seen that some years ago. The tables are turning. There's a lot more people that agree with us than they would like to admit. So, yeah, let's put the pedal to the metal. Let's go talk to folks. Let's have these conversations. You might find that some people around you actually agree with you. Just saying. Just saying. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Peace and love. I'm out.